Welcome to another video on the dark side of Crestone, Colorado, the Baca Grande Property Owners Association. In this video, I'd like to talk about the arson at 1190 Beaver Trail, Crestone, Colorado. What a lot of people don't know about this property is that it was owned by Cheryl Mercer. Yes, her son was mentally ill and probably had some drug issues. He had been removed from the home, and a contractor was living there named John Lilo. He had been contracted and had actually hauled off much debris while he was there at a cost of thousands of dollars. He woke up one morning around August 17th, August 18th of 2020 with Saguache County Commissioners Ken Anderson and Jason Anderson in his home, waking him up. So not only did they trespass, they were breaking and entering. They told him, we wanted to see if anybody was here. Now, John Lilo called the Saguache County Sheriff's Department, at which time he was told that we kind of let Crestone handle their own affairs. So they would not file a police report. He did file a police report with a female officer who subsequently left the department, and then the matter was no longer investigated. On September 9th of 2020, the home was torched, arsoned. On August 18th of 2020, about the same day that Jason Anderson and Ken Anderson, the brother commissioners, broke into John Lilo's home, or Cheryl Mercer's home there. They had a meeting at which time they discussed the property. The Baca Grande Property Owners Association had gotten a default judgment, which the judges give them a lot of default judgments for after not serving summons, as they did in my case. So the Saguache County Board of Commissioners were discussing this home and said the building should be burned and there will be less debris that is to be taken to the landfill. So it was supposedly about the demolition of the home. And they go on to say after they burn the structure, they can haul it off. The vote was 2 in favor, 1 against. These are on their websites. So then on September 9th, the structure was arsoned. This film was made by Bob Wonder. As you see, there's no fire trucks. There's no sound of approaching fire trucks. Bob Wonder lives next door or in the same block as the Baca Grande Property Owners Association Fire Department. So the fire department failed to show up, and when they did show up, they did not start putting the fire out. John Lilo told me that someone named Jimbo said, "Let it burn." But it is fair to note that there were no permits pulled. Right, there were no permits pulled. This was an illegal fire. It was an arson that pretty much the Saguache County Sheriff's Department is not investigating. As they did in my case, they pretty much act as intimidators and at the behest of the Baca Grande Property Owners Association and the Commissioner's Department. Now, the day after that meeting, August 19th, a administrator for Saguache County resigned, and stating illegal activity. If you continue operating illegally and pretend you don't, it's illegal. Center Post Dispatch stated the second county administrator in less than a year has resigned from his position. They could somehow become entangled in illegal dealings. Mr. Simpson had a strong financial background, 20 years in the Army as a financial go-to person, another 20 years with Austin, Texas firm as a CFO, and a certified public accountant. Now, Ken Anderson and Jason Anderson have resigned at this point. They are no longer on the Saguache County Board of Commissioners. I believe this is Jason. And Ken is in this happy bunch. But I believe that is the group that was, on the board when the place was arsoned. When I first heard about the fire, the rumor was, or what the Baca Grande Property Owners Association told everybody, well, it was a meth house. It just needed to burn. So nobody cared that arson was committed until I found out that Miss Mercer was paying thousands of dollars trying to come into compliance with she was trying to come into compliance with the Baca Grande Property Owners Association, just as I was, just as Beardo Sandy was. But once you get on their list that you're not deserving of their mercy or favor, then you are targeted and you are run out of your home by fraud, by arson, by harassment. And I believed it was a drug house until they were telling everybody I was a violent criminal. The land use administrator accused me of trying to ram her with my car. Now, again, if I was a person standing on the outside, which I was at one point, I thought, okay, I'm talking to a crazy person. This can't possibly be true about these people. And then I became a person targeted by them. I thought other people just don't know how to be polite. They just don't know how to talk to other people. And I was threatened and bullied beyond belief. I could not endure it without saying something or speaking up. Just to recap, this was one of my violations, and that, and clearing a little land, pallets on top of each other. Oh, that's my neighbor's house, who was not charged with any violations, sorry. Yeah, there's his house again. Let's see. My violations, let's see. And I was a clean paying member of the community. And that's my neighbor's house now, being called in compliance. I sent so many emails, so many applications. They were just ignored. I offered binding arbitration, that was denied, or binding mediation. Anything I did was just ignored, and they went ahead and sued, and then took over $8,000 out of the sale of my home. Email after email, permit after application after permit application. It was just a cruel joke. And finally, as you see from my previous documentaries, that so much money has been wasted by this administration consisting of Ed Sabarbaro, Steve Dawson-Back, and Mark Repp, supported by Kathleen Kennedy, Joe Buckley, Claudia Wolf, and Judy Rose. You see the budget is here, 122, to the expenditures, 351, and the budget 190 to the expenditures, 221. And these are legal and liability insurance for 2020. In short, the 2-year spending from 2017-2018 was $2,011, and 2019 to 2020, let's just call it a good $1 million. And yes, the 2020 spending did come to $666,000. So I ask, when you are told certain information about certain people, don't, especially coming from the Baca Grande Property Owners Association, please don't necessarily believe what they're saying is true. Why this happens in homeowners association is hard to say. I will say that the land use administrator, Connie Estrada, didn't tell me about a meeting that was happening and regarding the consolidation of my lots. When I showed up, nobody was there. I so much wanted to avoid her that I left and didn't go to her office and ask what happened to the meeting. She was following me as I left. I pulled over twice and had her pass me, at which time she went about 5 miles an hour. And I was following her quite a ways as I was going the same direction. Later, she told the sheriff's department that I tried to hit her with my car. I am a critical care registered nurse of 35 years, have no criminal history, and I have never tried to hit somebody with my car. Actually, she said I tried to hit her with my car twice, ram her with my car twice. So actually the judge was a member of the Baca Grande Property Owners Association, so I didn't do well in court. Of course, I was one of you that did not believe that all these stories were true, and until I found myself being just attacked by these people. And it does pain me to say that Connie Estrada, the land use administrator, is troubled. She has 2 DUIs, a long history of methamphetamine abuse, pills and alcohol, which she still struggles with. As someone in recovery, I don't want to disparage anyone with an illness, but she should not be an administrator and able to make such life-altering decisions about people's lives. I think the reason she will never get fired is because she knows too much, especially who committed the arson at 1190 Beaver Trail. Who knows how or why this happens? This is a small rural community. Perhaps people go to these positions because it will benefit their business, their property, or maybe they had a position in life where they felt they weren't very respected. Perhaps they were a truck driver or a retired cop. Perhaps somebody made them feel small or hurt them in some way. They might view others as being more successful, having an easier life, enjoying life in a different way than they had it. Maybe they're wealthier, healthier, more likable, but kind of like the fraternity boys that are hazed during their rush and end up hazing others. Instead of developing a compassion, they go for the payback. It's a sad human condition, for sure. I can say that one individual has come forward talking to the ATF. Thank you so much. It's time to end this sad, sad situation in Crestone where they spend the homeowner's money harassing paying clean members, mentally ill members, minority members, and letting the trashy unfinished home slide. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more.